welcome to the Unspoken Truth Podcast Show. This is your boy JB, aka Spoken, and I have a walking, living legend in the building. I don't say the names. Everybody know I don't say nobody's name. They can say their own name. So go ahead and say your name, dog.
How y'all doing? I'm Latif. What's up, my brother?
Latif. So give everybody a brief description of who you are, summary, tell everybody who you are. Yeah, whatever you want them to know just for intro.
All right. Well, I'm a singer-songwriter. I started out as an artist back in 2003, 2004, and yeah, I'm just a creative. I'm from Philly. I live in New York now. Just going through so many different scenarios and different situations. As far as the music business is concerned, from here, we deal with life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
Thank you for having me, my brother.
all good, man. I just want to let you know, I was on your music when you first came out. You say 2003. I was in ninth grade, which means I was 14/15 years old. So I was on it then. Your song, of course, "Don't Want to Hurt You," was one of those songs that I could have, if I wanted to play a song for a chick. That was one of those backyard songs that I could have just reached back and said, I'm gonna fuck the game up with this "Don't Want to Hurt You." I'm gonna go ahead and throw them that. Especially if I play it nowadays. If I play it nowadays, there are a select few people that don't know what it is, and that's cool. But there are also a lot of people that do know, that's from my generation and your generation, and they'll be like, "No, you didn't whip out that Latif, bro. That's that shit, boy. What you know about that, dog? So, man,
It's like
you're a walking legend.
man, that tag right is something that I strive for. I mean, you know what I mean? It's something that, I still got a lot of work to do in my opinion, but it's just, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I became aware of you. I think it was through Sha Jones.
Oh, Sha Jones. Okay, good
I
people.
think and I was like, of course, like you were like the first, like, online, like YouTube, like comedian, you know what I mean, that came up, and before like Chiggy and all the other people, like I was just like, so I was aware of it, but I didn't know you did music too. So
Yeah.
when I think I saw y'all doing like y'all were singing or something, and it was just like, I was like, oh damn, my man, he a Renaissance man for real, for real.
Most deaf, man. It's the only way to be, man. So you say you from Philly, right?
Yeah, I'm from Philly, man,
And
uptown.
and where you residing at right now?
I'm in Harlem. I'm in New York. I've
Oh,
been
yeah.
here for about 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you Philly, New York. Where were you around the time when you marked your record deal and everything? Like, what were you, and what was going through your mind when everything popped off the way it popped off? Like, how was your life? What changed? How was the vibe? Did you like it? Do you have regrets? You could do, just give us a little brief.
Full transparency. Yeah. I was at school. I was at Berkeley for a while, like two years, and so I was living in Boston, right? So I met this cat named Ryan Leslie, with who
Okay.
everybody know who Ryan Leslie is.
Legend.
I met him. I met him that second year, and we hit it off. Like, I think the first day that I met him, he came to a talent show that I was doing at like a neighboring college, Boston College, and he came, and what I'm saying, he he was like, let's try to write some songs. So the first day we wrote a song, it was crazy. So I was like, okay, I like the chemistry. He had finished Harvard the year that I graduated from high school, so he had already
Yeah.
finished school. But I mean, I couldn't do both. I couldn't do school and pursue like music and stuff like that the way I wanted to. So I I uh I dropped out, and my parents gave me like a semester. So I was up there. We cut like damn near the whole, like, we cut Rain Will Go Away. We cut Heavenly, which we
Mm.
cut over again. But like a lot of them joints was done up there in Boston. So And then we moved to Chicago. The label was like, all right, y'all gotta go. At the time, Ryan and I, we were like running, around New York City, like writing for a bunch of other artists and stuff. And they gave us a bag. And but let me rewind a little bit. Initially, I was a little hesitant to do another record deal situation because I had a record deal when I was younger, around like 13, 14, with Sony 550, which was a label that Genuine was on, and um, Lil Vicious and Ina Kamosi, and it was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, it was like a development deal, but still, it was like, I went over there by the name of Vivian Scott Chu. Now she found like Salam Remy, so she discovered me. So yeah, I mean that situation kind of fell through because my voice had changed, and I was like kind of, I mean, this like, I don't know, I was kind of not jaded, but I was just like, nah, I just want to be a writer. So that's what with Ryan and I, we was just like, so he was like, yo, bust it, check it, we should, why don't you get a record deal, and that way we can get our music out there more. Like, because
Hmm.
at first, at the time, it was like, who else was out as like a writing production duo? I think like like Pharrell and Chad was running around, but they still
Okay.
was like doing hip hop stuff. Nobody really heard like the Khalees stuff initially. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it was like, we was really about to, prime to do some damage, but the label I went around. We still kept it kind of on the low. Like when we would do the meetings, we made it seem like we were trying to sell records to their artists that they had on their labels, whether it was Epic or Motown or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? Mercury at the time, and
Yeah.
um, and when we would play the records, in order to sell the songs, I would get up and throw, like act the songs out, throw money, jump on the table and stuff like that. But they were like, "Yo, why don't you do it?" So Ryan was like, "Yeah, why don't we do it?" So I was like, "All right, cool, bet." But that gave us the most creative control was Kedar over at Motown, and he had Erica Badu. He had, D'Angelo. He discovered D'Angelo. I was like, okay, cool, he get it. You know what I mean? Or at least like, and he did for the most part. But the only thing was, he was like, y'all gotta move to Chicago. So I was like, Chicago? I had never been to Chicago in my life. And Ryan didn't either. So we had a crew we was building up in Boston. So I was like, all right. And when I kind of like tried to to fight that, them sending us up there, it was like, well, if you want the project to come out, if you want this and that to come out, then y'all gotta go to Chicago. So that's what we did. In Chicago, for any, it's a different culture out there. Like it's, you gotta have like big homies and stuff, like, because they got their culture out there with the gangs and stuff at
Hmm.
the time. You got the vice lords and the four corner hustlers and stuff. It's
Yeah.
crazy. You can't wear your hat to the right or to the left. You can't shake hands a certain way. It was real tricky, but luckily they put us in the care of some good people, and they took care of us. And at the time, it was like John Monopoly and Don C was out there. They were like party promoters, so they took good care of us, and we did the album out there, just figuring shit out, and it was cool. Then after we did the album, it was like it wasn't done when we left Chicago. We was out in Chicago for about a year. When we came back, I thought the album was done. Ryan thought the album was done, but the label was like, "All right, cool, y'all do now. We got to fill in the blanks with some of our choosing, producers of our choosing." So I was really I was one of those cats that read the credits.
Yeah.
So I was like, they was like, "Who you want?" They was like, "We want you going with Pharrell." And at the time, I was like, I didn't think Pharrell and them had the range, like, little did I know, to do stuff that, what I mean, that I was on. Like, I didn't think their sound at the time, like, doo, doo, all that stuff, I didn't think it went along with like the Rain Will Go Aways and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. How can I bring like, tell them that I'm not going to like completely renege on whatever they suggestion, but I was like, let me I was like, how about Brian Michael Cox? And it was like, Brian Michael Cox. And at the time, like, he hadn't done anything by himself. So, anytime you see Jermaine Dupri's name, you will always
See
see
Brian Michael
Brian.
Cox.
So I was like, how about Brian Michael Cox? So, my A&R, I went through like 3 A&R. A&R, he knew exactly. He's from Atlanta. one of them. So he was like, all right, cool, bet. Let's bust a move. Let's go to Atlanta. And that kind of like put got them off of me about going in with Pharrell. Because then the tricky part about cutting records with these super producers and stuff is that you got to pay them up front, at least half. So even if you don't use the record, meanwhile, my budget, I was trying to be mindful of that, just trying to make sure that I had some money to play with at the end. Because like, let's say if I wanted to go on the road, there's no tour support if you use all of your recording budget. You know what I'm saying? So I got them to send me to Atlanta. I went in with Brian Michael Cox. I also met this dude Adonis, who was signed to Puffy as a writer, but he's also a dynamic producer. So I went to his crib and we did like 3 songs in one day. One of which was "Love in the First," the title track, and we was like I recorded in this bathroom, and we was just like, the chemistry was crazy. And I remember I had to go in the studio with Brian Michael Cox the next day, so I was like, yo, why don't you come to this session with me tomorrow? And he was like, all right, cool. I was like, I'm working with B Cox over at Noontime, which was the studio where Jazzy Faye came from, Brian Michael Cox, Jonte Austin, Teddy Bishop. It was just so many like just dope producers, and Donnie Scantz. Some of these names, these are like legendary dudes. Like Donnie Scantz is like, legendary. Everybody know who John. Y'all saw the battle the other day. But he was on my album. He wrote Who's Loving Her Now. It was only 2 songs that I didn't write on that album, and that was Who's Loving Her Now and Girl. And then the rest of them I either wrote or co-wrote. So I'm just giving you a little history. Is this cool?
Oh yeah. I'm listening.
So the next day we went in. Adonis came with me to the studio, and I think he knew Brian Michael Cox, but they hadn't worked yet. I think before like Adonis, because Adonis did like My Boo. Adonis, he did a lot of big records, man. He did a lot of big records. I don't want to like. I'll look him up and just let you know who Adonis is. Adonis used to write. Damn, what else did he do? He did something major. A lot of Marion B2K stuff. But I think he got a Grammy for my Boo with Alicia and Usher. But so he came to the session, and then we did Put Me On. So like I said, Brian Michael Cox and Adonis had never really worked, because Adonis used to work at the Guitar Center. I think that was his job before he even got into the music. So he would meet all of the producers. But if you go in the Guitar Center, niggas don't really take you serious. They like, okay, cool, sell me Pro Tools or whatever, an Apollo or something. But like back then, so when he came, the chemistry was crazy. Like I think we did like 2 songs back then, but Put Me On made the album. So then I went over to where was my next move? I went over, that night, my A&R was like, yo, do you want to go to this session with this dude named Teddy Bishop? I was like, what did Teddy Bishop do? He was like, he did Just Be a Man About It for Tony Braxton. I was like, man, that ballad is crazy. So I was like, let me go over there and let me see what he could do. Like, I was like, cool, but it was late, right? And I was leaving the next day. So I was like, all right, cool. So when I went to walk down in his basement, he had the studio in the basement. It was this dude down there. So I was like, okay. I backed up the steps and was like, yo, I write my own records, right? So he was like, yeah. But this cat, what I'm saying? He lived near me, whatever. He trying to, get into the music industry. And I was like, all right, cool. And when I went down there, like, I wasn't really thinking about finishing the song that night. So he played me this track, and I already like would write songs or like start like songs. I had like the verse and the chorus or a flow. This one song called Fork in the Road. And he started playing this track. So the dude is sitting there. I'm not really paying him no mind because I don't really know if he's dope or not. But I was like, I'm at a fork in the road. I want to let go, but I can't though. I'm at a fork in the road. I want to let go, but I can't. And then the dude, he chimed in and was like, should I make a left here? Should I make a turn here? I can't call it though. And I was like, yo, that's dope. But it was literally seamless. So I was like, yo, I was like, you know what? It's late. I got a flight to catch in the morning, but I'm going to come back and rock with you. That dude was Sean Garrett. And so he and I, we kept in touch, and I think he had some relatives, or he used to live in like Allentown, which is outside of Philly. So we hit it off, and you know, we kept in touch. So I was going through relationship, you know, hell at that time and stuff like that. So he, you know, was just taking notes. He was like just writing, you know, as I was talking, he would always like his mind, you know, his wheels would be spinning. So I was like, all right, cool. So he was like, come back down. I got the studio. I believe it was Sony ATV at the time. He was like, I got the studio. He's like, if you could just get them to, you know, send you back down to Atlanta. I was like, I went to the label. I was like, can y'all, you know, send me back to Atlanta? They was like, nah, because my budget was shot. Like, you know, people are misappropriating my funds and stuff like that. Like, you know, most artists, like the A&Rs, not to say the A&Rs, I'm not trying to throw them under the bus, but, they had kickbacks and different things that, you know, took a toll on your budget. Let's say I started out with a budget of 350 and it ballooned to like 750 or something like that. That's before I did the video and stuff like this. I just want people to kind of get a grasp of how this money works. You know what I'm saying? Like that
350
fund,
what? 350 what?
350,000,
Okay.
which was still like peanuts back in those
It
days.
still ain't nothing. That ain't nothing back then. In 2000,
But you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's really like, you know, most people be like, all right, cool. I was thinking like, all right, since Ryan and I, we write the songs ourselves anyways, it's not like we got to go and pay. And I had contracted him out to do 7 songs at 10 a pop, like 10,000 a pop. So I was like, all right, cool. I just wanted to make sure he was straight.
Wow.
So we worked that into the contract. So he got 70,000. I think my signing bonus was about 35,000. Then I had to live in advance, whatever like that. So I lived off of that. So when I asked them to send me back to Atlanta, they were like, nah. So I was like, all right, cool. I got some money. I'm gonna send myself to Atlanta. So I went to Atlanta. He had the studio already, and then he had a producer there too, named French Spencer. But before I came down, he was like, yo, I got this idea for this song based on a conversation that we had. So I was like, all right, cool, that sounds dope. So that song ended up being I Don't Want to Hurt You. So I was like, okay, cool. So we went back. So that trip, we went to Teddy Bishop's first. Yeah, we went to Teddy Bishop's first and finished and you know, he had everything, the hook, like he had the first verse and the hook basically done. Then the second verse, the label, before I left the label, they were like, yo, use our catalog. Because I think at the time, like people would make references to a song or interpolate a part of a song. Like, I truly adore you. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, that's a Prince, like shout out. Like, you know what I mean? So people would be familiar with this. I was like, they would like use our catalog almost to say that it would be free. So I was like, okay, cool. Damn, what do they got that I could use? And the barge, I know just how it feels. You know, in time it will. In time it will reveal. That right there, I took that and I put that in the second verse. And then it was, after that, basically the whole song after that was an ad lib. It was like a first take that, trust me, girl, I wanted to. That was a one take, and Teddy Bishop attest to that. Like it was just natural. And I did a pass of ad libs, and a lot of people don't know the telephone thing in the beginning. I think we took that from like a Biggie Small song. It was like, so you know what I'm saying? It was cool. And you know, and then we went over to Sony ATV and did Girl, My Sister's Girlfriend, and what other joint did we do? I think that maybe that was it. And then some other songs we did that didn't make the album, but that was pretty much it. And then after that, you know, I took those records to the label and they went crazy, but they had to pay for them. So I had to reopen my budget for that. And so I'm on the phone with every producer. They could tell you from Brian Michael Cox that I called them personally and was like, look, I'm gonna get your money. Don't sell these tracks. Because at the time, B2K, when I first met Omarion was like, yo, I wanted I Don't Want to Hurt You. And I was like, yeah, I wanted Gots to be too. But I was like, you know what I'm saying? You know, it was something. So then after that, you know, my cousin had graduated from NYU. So he was like, he was like, let's shoot a video. I was like, cool. So we shot a video, not the video that everybody else saw, but it was another video. I don't know. Whoever had the DVD, it was like an interactive CD-ROM disc. It had my original video. And it was like, we shot it. I mean, I personally like that video better, but then they spent like 200,000 on the video that everybody else saw, flew me out to LA and stuff. But you have to constantly. This is people kind of was all like open when Kanye shot the video for himself, but like I did that before, like um, and it was kind of unheard of for any artist to take it upon themselves because it was so hard to shoot videos back then. You didn't have like the digital, you had to shoot film, and that shit was expensive. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
So that pretty much was it. And then I went through different label stuff with I mean you got to pick your battles, man. And like Kedar Massenberg, he was the guy who really took me under his wing, kind of made sure he saw the project through. But his tenure at Motown was coming to an end, and I think he kind of knew it. And sometimes if you get caught up in the shuffle, whoever comes in after the president that signed you, they'll just have you on the label. And plus, seeing as being as though that I owed them, a couple dollars, it was like, you know, in order for me to get out that deal, they either would have to, let me go, or somebody else would have to buy that debt. And he let me go, and I was grateful for that. But then, that's when my, real work started after that. You know what I mean? Because I had to start writing because, I couldn't really rest on my laurels because the project really, it was like a cult favorite and stuff like that, but it wasn't, they didn't support the album at all, really. So, that's why, like, when people, I'm almost like, I'm really, really, really thankful and grateful to people even heard it because it was a labor of love, man. I put a lot into that project. You know what I mean? It was like, I Don't Want to Hurt You was a real life story. Freaking Rain Will Go Away. That was the song that initially got me my deal. And that I wrote that record like, directly from my heart. You know what I mean? So yeah, man.
Okay, okay. All right. So man, you said a handful. And what's so crazy is you don't even know, man. We got like I forgot to mention to you in the beginning of the interview. We got 18 questions, man. 18
Shit.
damn questions. But you good though, because you kind of answer about 4 of them at the same time. So this is really, really good. So what I'm gonna get into, and this thing is it's really up and down. Give us a time of the worst whooping you've ever gotten in your life.
That's easy. That's really easy. And I mean, my mom, we kind of go at it about this situation now. And I mean, like you see these movies and like these kids appreciate it, I mean, like whether it's piano lessons and I mean, you got teachers that hit your fingers if you don't play, I mean, stuff like that. Like it was one time in particular that I didn't want to sing in the choir one day. It was like a hot summer day. It was a hot summer day, and we went to like a museum or something, and I think my choir had to sing that afternoon. So I'm thinking I'm good. Like I'm looking at my watch like, okay, cool. We ain't singing today. So we left the museum, and I woke up. I went to sleep in the whip, and I woke up in front of the church, and my mom was like, "Go in there and sing." I was like, "Oh shit." So when I went into the church, my choir was basically done. You know what I mean? They was done singing. They was on like their last Jones. So I was like, all right, it's over. So I came back out, but that wasn't, she, you know what I mean?
So
She
what
tore me
happened?
up because
What happened?
she tore me up. But the crazy part about it is what made it crazy is that my choir started coming out
As you were getting your
while
behind
getting,
whooped.
I mean, King, it was like one of them fights where the circle, like in school, like where they
Oh
surround you, like,
Lord, oh
oh,
Lord.
like I'm like grabbing them, I'm like grabbing people, like please help me, and she like, I'm laughing about it now, but it really
It wasn't funny at
devastated
the
me, man.
time.
King, I didn't go to church for like 2 months, man. I was so embarrassed.
Dang.
And her thing was like she just didn't want she didn't want she didn't want nobody to stop me from singing and using my gift, which that's a mother right there. But at the end of the day, it's easy. That by far is
The
the
worst one you ever
craziest
had.
ass whipping I ever received in my life.
All right,
Straight
all
up.
right, all right. Here we go. Biggest lesson you've learned about people from having fame.
Well, I mean, look, I'm gonna tell you, I'm just keeping it that while. Like, I mean, I always the biggest lesson about people. I mean, I was thinking about this, man. I would say it's somebody that's real. Like, that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, like as far as females and stuff like that, that's concerned. Like, I never even liked the chick who liked my music. Basically, like I would,
Hmm.
girl wouldn't even know that I even sang. And like sometimes, they'll be like, "Yo, whatever, whatever." But I mean, I was like, I always like people genuine. But that's why in this music industry, which I've been in for quite some time, you know what I'm saying, since like when I was like a young pup, 11, 12, 13 years old. So it's like I realized that niggas ain't real.
Hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's cool. Like, people was raised differently, you know what I mean? And now, they justify about whatever, but it's just, it's a lot of Takashi type dudes out here that really would justify just doing the most unscrupulous like things that you could ever think about. Like, half the people that I knew and ours and all these people, man, like they really like think, what I mean? Like they wouldn't even like they didn't care if I was alive or dead, bro.
Hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Who literally and that's I'm not just gonna I can't just exclusively like put that on like the music industry, but in general, that's what I learned. Like, like niggas tried to rob me a couple times and stuff like that. It's just like the perception of it, and that's why I have so much empathy for like artists and young artists, and I try to. I'm from Philly, which is a real place, and anybody know me, like, I always protected myself. I always had, protection and stuff like that. Where, your average R&B singer like, and I never carried myself like that, but it was like, if anything we jumped off, like anybody knew that I was prepared for whatever, and that's why I kind of like I move like that. But it's all because of niggas ain't what they proclaim to be.
Hmm. Hmm. All right. Name 3 people in the industry who are good peoples and why.
All right, I gotta start in the music industry. Ethiopia Habta Mariam, who was my publisher. She's a great person.
Okay.
And you said 2 other people.
Yeah. 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 Two
I
more
mean,
people.
like notable, like people
It
that
doesn't.
like you would know.
Well. I'm assuming everybody would rather it be somebody who they know, but you can name people who you don't know. I mean, who we don't know, but just try to name people who you think like 3 notable people that everybody know that you ran
All
across
right, cool.
who are good people. And if you can't name 3, shit, fuck it. Hell, name one.
No, I'm gonna say like this. Like, okay, all right now, Kyrie Needles. He's like that's one of my homeboys. Like he did like The Way You Are for freaking Bruno Mars. He co-produced that. What's the joint? The Jeremiah record. He did
Yeah,
his new artist Nicole Bus is killing it over at Rock Nation. He's genuine. I'm trying to think.
Hit
Hit
Boy.
Boy, Hit Boy. Yeah, Hit Boy is like, and it's rare. It's rare, King. Like it's really rare. Like I would say, like people who kept it a being and consistently through from the time I met them in the music industry with Ethiopia, Hit Boy, and Needles. Like those are people that I could call or text, who really give a damn. You know what I mean? And vice versa. So we're gonna keep it at that. Everybody else,
All right, hey,
they're
all good, all
associates.
good,
They're associates, bro. They're associates.
all good, all good. Um, I was gonna ask you, do you believe in God? Why not? But you used to go to church, and I'm assuming that you do. Well, I mean, they don't mean shit, but you know what I'm saying? God,
Nah, listen,
and why or why not?
I do believe in God because I've been through some crazy stuff, and I know, like, I prayed now. Now it was get kind of, as far as I do believe in God. I do believe in a higher being. I don't go to church any like as much as So I take truth and I anywhere I can get it. But like as you get older, King, like you start to as I'm from man to man, it's just like you start to question things, and you start to take all of the political and all of that other stuff out of it, and you just want to I just want to have that connection. I've always been spiritual. I'll always and God, but I just had that direct line to my creator. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right.
Simple, man. Life should be very, very simple. And sometimes, the politics of church, the cliques and all that stuff. And, coming from, I sang in church early, man. And, it's just a lot of it. It's a lot of different energies that dwell in there. You know what I mean? That you don't want to particularly contend with when you go there to feed your spirit and to, you know what I mean? You want to be a sacred, safe zone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. What brings you peace, and what would happen if you don't get that peace?
What brings me peace? God definitely brings me peace. And just, you know, like God brings me peace, and God has given me things like patience and and this crazy industry. I've been fortunate to have that. A lot of people don't even, they don't understand how I move and like and things like that, or like I never like clout chased or like been a fame seeker or nothing like that. I just like to make great shit and like deal with life and be around great people. My lady, she bring me peace. You know what I'm saying? You know, you know what I'm saying? And that's it. It's just, God. I would say God gives me peace because like at the end of the day, it's like you find peace within. Like when everything is crazy, how do you find it? You gotta slow everything down
Mm.
and just and align yourself and just, and that's the peace where I write the songs from. Like sometimes I barely even like when you mid sentence or like when you singing or you writing a line, like sometimes I don't even like to eat. Like I like to just like slow it down like the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's like you know what I'm talking about. It's like
Yeah.
so God, man, God is real, and I'm still searching for the truth as far as in regards to religion. Like what are our rituals culturally? We're kind of like different cultures. They have their cuisines and they have their things they do. But I don't really I want to find that whether I haven't been to Africa yet or I haven't done my 23 and me or whatever to see where I'm from, but it's just like I'm seeking that like you know you know what I mean.
Okay. All right. Dumbest thing you've ever done for a woman?
Damn, the dumbest thing.
Dumbest thing, man. Dumbest thing. No,
Damn, King, hold up.
it's in there somewhere, man.
The dumbest thing that I did, 4 or 2.
Which one dumber?
I mean,
I say four.
in life, in retrospect,
I say four. I mean, you say two, it's like, hey,
all right, cool. 4, the dumbest thing I did for a chick. I mean, you can spend a bunch of money and stuff, and then you ain't with them no more, like that type of thing. I think that's kind of that make you look a little crazy. But I mean, I've always been conscious of that sort of thing, like for a woman, you know, I mean, I'm a lover, King. Like, so it's just like, like for real, for real. This it ain't no, it ain't no. I ain't capping when I be writing these songs and stuff. Like, I'm romantic and stuff. Like, I
All right.
always been. So it's like I
All
don't
right.
really, you know what I mean?
So how old were you when everything started taking off? You had to be
I
like
was,
19.
yeah, because I think I sang it in one of those songs,
Okay,
right?
okay, okay.
But
You were
without
19,
you.
right? So you were 19
Yeah,
when
I was
everything started
19. I
taking
was
off.
19. Yeah, 19, 20. And it was just like, you know, it was one of them things. But I
What's
always had.
no. Keep going.
No, what you gonna say?
I'm about to throw a wrench in your in what you're about to say. Um,
Go
what's the
ahead,
most
hurl it in there.
what's the most amount of money you ever spent on a chick around that time? Oh,
I mean, probably at one time, probably like 3,000, 3 grand, 3,500.
and what
Like,
did
you
you
know what I
buy
mean?
her?
I think it maybe was a good time. I think it was like,
Oh, okay.
you know what I'm saying? I
Oh,
think it was
hey,
like, I
hey,
think,
I
you know what
feel
I'm
you
saying?
on that.
Like, yeah, like it may have been like, we went to New York or something, or like I was like, yo, King, I was buying coats and feeding, and like we go to nice restaurants. Like that's the type of vibe. You know what I mean? Like as far as clothes, so you gotta think like now Gucci and all that stuff is cool, but before it ain't really cost that much to kind of
Mm-hmm.
lace your lady out. And even back then it's like, okay, I get her some Jordans or something like that. But it was like I wanted to culture my girls back then. It's like, you take them to a play, you take them to, what I mean, fine restaurants, throw on something nice. You ain't just gotta throw something on nice to go to church, but it's just like, you would go out to a dinner. You know what I mean? Back then, everybody goes to movies or to, you know what I mean, stuff like that. I'm talking about like, if Tyler Perry came to town or something, I'm taking them to that. You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing.
You never had a time where you had a really, really crazy groupie around that time that just couldn't like stay in her place and just always was in the way? Have you ever
All right, so,
give us a
so
crazy groupie fan? Because you came from the early 2000s now. Now I know them type of groupies at them times, they was willing to do whatever.
look,
They wouldn't do whatever now, shit. But even then, at that
I mean,
time,
you got the Rona out here now. They can't, you know what I mean? Like
you
anybody,
can't do it now. But in the early 2000s, you could have
King.
told a chick that broccoli was purple, and she would have believed.
I'm trying to think. Like honestly, dog, I'm gonna tell you like this. I had my mentor was Teddy Pendergrass. So
Hey,
this,
and I read up on that.
yeah, so this man, his stories was crazy, and like, so I knew that shit could get stripped from you if you don't deal with it right. Like
Okay.
look, like when I look at even now in my life, like I don't know too many people like that live off music full time, right? And like
Hmm.
do different things. Whereas like I always look, man, like I know, at that time it was like, the church and the Jesus and stuff like that. But I was like, man, I was always mindful of it. Now my crew, like at my, I had like my young boys from Philly come on the road me at certain times, so like this, and they would have girls like go from follow us from city to city. But I was in a relationship like from like when the album dropped until now. Like, so it wasn't like I didn't, it wasn't nothing that was crazy. Now they may have propositioned something like, but it wasn't nothing that I took them up on that was like, you know what I mean? It wasn't even that type of time. Like I really was like career focused, like, you know what I mean? Like now it's a lot. I mean, groupies are everywhere, you know what I mean? Are everywhere, but it's just like, you see, this is the thing. I always knew whether you're a pastor, it's a certain power that you get. Back then, it was like the anointing that, and that's the thing that, and since I was a kid, they be like, you got to anoint, you're anointed. And I was like, okay, you don't quite know what that means, but when you see a fan and they kind of like zoned out and they caught up in this person that you may not even are,
Hmm.
you got to think for them.
Yeah, that's
Like
true. That's true. Now that's true. That's true. That's
I
true as
had
hell.
Yeah, I even befriended some girls that were like that, and I never gave in. So over time, we became friends, right?
Hmm.
And he was, you see, is like you have to think for them in that moment, and that's what I'm telling you, man. Like people love your songs, and I always would be like, no, you don't really rock with me. You like my songs, like, you know what I'm saying? You don't know me, you know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
it's like, You know what I'm saying? It's like you see it, like, and I know every artist can agree. It's like you go on stage, right? And let's say, some chicks may not know me, or like they might know I don't want to hurt you, or they may know Without You or something, and they don't know none of the other songs. So I might come out singing those songs, the ones they don't know first, and they be sitting there like, who is this nigga? And then when you sing I Don't Want to Hurt You, they like, oh, and that's the real. And I'm looking at it like, do I look at it like they think I'm a sex symbol or something
Hmm.
like that?
Hmm.
Hell no. Even
Hmm.
though I had the wife beater on and all that, I'm like, yo, they just like my music, and that's what I always want them to like. Cause you know what I mean? You see them, you see Ronald Isley. Like, I mean, some of them women might think they going, you know what I mean? He gonna get in their drawers and stuff like that. But like for me, like, I'm not. That ain't what type of time I'm on. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's exclusive, and
Mm-hmm.
can't too many chicks that you know what I mean? That, you know what I mean? It's special.
Okay.
You know what
All
I mean?
right. Hey, I can't get mad at it. Can't get
I ain't trying to take the juice out of
no,
it, but it's the
no,
truth.
no, no. You
I
didn't take
was.
the. Trust me, man. What you're saying the same thing. What I be saying. I may have other ways of how I deal with things and all that, but I definitely had experiences when you said exactly what I said exactly what you're saying, which is the part where you have to think for people. A lot of people they think, it's all about, oh, let me be around this person, or I know this person's content. But y'all, just like you said, they don't really know your ass. They don't know you. They only know you for your work. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know if you're a monster. And I feel like that's why a lot of this R. Kelly stuff been going around, because people didn't know that man. No matter what he did, you know him for his music. You don't know Robert. You don't know Robert. You know R. Kelly. You know R. Kelly, and that's all you should focus on.
Right. We lit actually. So, speaking of dude, we was in Chicago, and I recorded at the studio where he was recorded at too. And you hear stories, nothing too crazy like some of the accusations that are coming out now, but based on, I met BJ Chicago Kid when I was out there around that time. He was, you know what I'm saying, like, that's my brother, and like I met him during those initial recording sessions in Chicago at CRC. And he'll tell you to this day, I heard stories of like R. Kelly as far as like the music and certain things like that, to the point where you hear that. But the culture in Chicago is different. They objectify women a little bit different out there. Like, pimping is a culture out there.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? If I ever had any situations with women out like in the music industry, it was that was crazy. It was there. You know what I'm saying? You certain promoters and stuff like that, after you do shows, they may have some like strippers for you, and they may put the Coke bottle where
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
where the
Yeah.
sun don't shine, stuff like this, stuff like that. And they, what I mean, I ain't, I mean, that don't do nothing for me. But like in Chicago, it was like, you like her? All right. You know what I mean? It was like, what? Like, I'm from Philly, so we kick game. We're not game, but you get to know a young lady or whatever
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. You
Yeah.
talk to her, so on and so forth. Out there is like, I've seen some things that I've never seen again, but it kind of like I matured out there to the point where I was like, damn, oh, this is what they talking about. You walk into a room and it's like a full blown, like, you know what I'm saying, Sodom and
Yeah.
Gomorrah
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't
Okay.
wanna, you know what I mean? It's
Hey,
like,
man.
so
Yeah.
R.
Hey.
Kelly grew up under, you know what I mean? A lot of people, and they knew what was going on. I mean, if anything, man, I just, of course, like if the women and stuff like that, but everybody need to be prayed for, man. It's just crazy, man. Trauma and abuse that you go through, it really shapes you, and when you in this music industry, you know what I mean. You see it. I mean, power really corrupts. You know what I mean? That's like with us. I know yourself, and like you can agree. It's like, yo, it's not like I ain't thought about it, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's literally like, I got a conscience, and it's like you basically fighting gravity, because like these girls, how do you resist something that's non-resistant? Like, they coming at you. They're not gonna tell you no, no matter what you ask them to do. Like these girls and stuff. You know what I mean? But then again, You know, you gotta think for them, because a 17-year-old, whatever, if you B2K around that time, a 20-year-old then or a 19-year-old then is not gonna be the same person. She's not gonna make the same choices. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, later on, and it's like you want somebody to rock with you. Like I said, some of those girls that I met then, I'm great friends with, and it's all because of I didn't take advantage. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm. I feel you on that. All right, man. All right, man.
So
So
I
we
mean,
finna go. We finna go into the pick one session of the interview. We finna go ahead and wrap this thing up. All
okay,
right. Pick one. All right.
okay, cool.
All right. Here it is. You can't say in the middle. Can't say both. You gotta pick one.
Can I plead the fifth?
Hell no. Hell no. All right. Here you go. Movie theater or Netflix?
I like Netflix myself. I mean, you
Netflix.
know what I'm saying?
Okay. 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 All right. All right. Stank coochie or stank breath?
Like, which one is a no go, or like
Hey,
what's
which
what's worse?
which which hey, however you looking at it, man.
No,
I don't answer
King,
the question.
you got to point to you got to be specific. Which one?
Which one is worse for you?
Like, which one is more? Could I tolerate? Which one is a no go? Like,
Which one is a
which one?
no mother effing go?
Coochie.
Stank coochie.
Think coochie is a no go because I mean, like stink breath. All that take is like a tic tac or a toothbrush. If you got stink coochie, that's a problem, bro. You got some underlining medical
Ooh.
conditions that need to be addressed. Correct?
All right.
Right?
All right. All right. Let's get it on. I know this question may not be fair, but we're gonna go there anyway. Beyonce or Whitney Houston?
Singing? Singing? Whitney Houston. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. I hear you. I just wasn't finna jump in that shit.
Nah, Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston can sing better. I mean, shit. Like, come on, man. Like, oh, damn. Hold up. When I say better, come on. I mean, even Beyonce would say Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston had the pure, perfect voice, and she sang a song. She sang songs. Like she emoted this, like, and evoked emotion that was required for that song. I was telling my lady, I was like, because like resentment. Let's take that for an example, right? I thought resentment was like the same thing as hate. So when I heard resentment, she was singing that song. Beyonce sang that song like she was trying to kill it, like she hated that nigga, right? But the writer that wrote it, Candace Nelson, who was a part of the Clutch, Candace Nelson wrote that record about her husband, her ex-husband at the time, or whatever. And the crazy part about it is I think he produced that song, and it wasn't hate. When I heard her version, it was like it was a resentment. It was a totally different emotion. I was like, damn, it made me look up the word. And I was like, damn, resentment means it's not hate. So I'm like, okay, it's something that's a little bit more subtle, and it really is like, it's one of them ones, man. It's like where you lost respect for a person. Like hate is just like it's much more just cut and dry. But resentment is more nuanced now. I think so. If you listen to those songs, like Beyonce kills everything, and she sings stuff soft. She sings stuff. It's like this. You know what I mean? It's like you can't get tired of listening to Whitney Houston. Now Beyonce, I think her vocal production sometimes be just like on 10. You know what I mean? It's like you ain't got it. We know you can sing.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
that without throwing, you know what I mean? I love Beyonce. But I think, you know what I mean, like whereas though, like let's say Rihanna got range, bro. Like man, she don't sing as good as Beyonce, but she sings more flavors, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right, all right. So, but and I'm not changing your thought. So Whitney sing better. And even though Beyonce ain't dead, who's the bigger legend?
Whitney Houston.
Beyonce
Whitney
would never be
Houston.
a bigger. I'm asking you. So you're saying Beyonce would never be a bigger legend than Whitney, and this ain't me starting nothing.
I mean, even now, it's like, okay, when Whitney was at her height, you never heard nobody critique Whitney and said, yo, you like that new Whitney album? I don't know. Like Beyonce, as big as she is, you still have people who she won't get no classic ratings. Like some people might, you know what I mean? It's just like, even to this day, like if Beyonce chill, a new girl could come and take her place. Can't nobody ever, even Whitney was living or when she did, like people still talk about her. Like her vocal ability raised people. Beyonce, she just doesn't have enough of a style, I don't think, of her own, where it's like, you know what I mean? Like Beyonce is more like a Diana Ross type of personality. She's larger than life, but as far as like, it's the difference. It's nuance. It's like, you know, some people might say Usher or Chris Brown. Now for different reasons, you know what I'm saying? Usher definitely could sing better, but Chris Brown, you know what I'm saying?
Chris Brown's more of an artist.
Chris Brown's more because he writes. You
And
can't, you know what I'm
he's
saying?
just more
Like,
of an artist, all like all around 360. But Usher's
yeah,
Usher's more of a batter. Like, if you had to pick R&B wise, nigga, Usher all day.
yeah. So like, just think about it. Like Beyonce dropped the album last year, the African joint with the Lion King. It's like nobody really playing that even that. Like nobody play Ring the Alarm anymore. Like, you know, like that song. You know, certain songs they play, you don't even hear them. You know what I mean? But like Whitney Houston took people's songs and can't nobody sing it like Whitney Houston. Now, like I said, I heard Candace Nelson's version of Resentment, and you probably that was jamming too. And it's like I'm not me personally, just my personal taste. I feel like it's all about, you know, because I've encountered this sometimes with artists when you writing for them, um, they don't want to take risk or like trust, and like I'm like, okay, cool, they know it's you, dog. Like they know Usher, like they know this is you. Like you don't have to kill it and sing every ad lib like you trying to, you know what I mean? Just like relax, you know what I mean? So, you know.
Okay. Hey, I ain't faulting you, dog.
Don't
I
get
ain't
me,
faulting
don't get me.
Hey,
I don't want the
I'm doing it
beehive
on
to come at
purpose.
me.
I'm doing it. No, you good. Donnell Jones or Joe?
Joe, hands down.
Hands
I mean,
down?
like, but for
Hands
different
down,
reasons. Like,
though?
I look.
Hands down, though. Wait, hands down, though?
All right, okay,
Come on, bro.
hold
You
up.
can't say hands down on Donnell, bro.
No. For different reasons, right? All right, cool. I mean, just I'll break it down. Now, when you say Joe or Donnell Jones, I think vocals because I'm a singer, right? So I think vocals. I know Joe. I've talked to Donnell Jones once or twice. Artistry wise, like where I want to be is like the older brother to I don't want to hurt you. So it's like it wouldn't have, it
Hey,
wouldn't have been it probably
that's real. That's real, though. I never thought about that.
come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying, like I don't want to hurt you is raw, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, like
But he
make a
got way
nigga
more
want to
than
go
that. He
wild
got
and
way
get
more. You know what's up? This love, all kind of stuff, man.
listen, classics, like, yo, look, bro, listen, like straight up. But Joe, for me, like, shoot, I pull the guitar down. Look, Joe is he's vocally, and like, you know, he's on another level. Still, I practice to Joe. You know what
So
I'm saying?
Joe's on a whole nother level than John. He's on a whole nother level than than Donnell.
Look, that's relative and that's subjective. So I'm like, okay, for me,
Okay.
like Donnell Jones, I love his music, but I'm not gonna sit there and listen to him sing. I listen to his whole package. Like,
Hmm.
okay, his writing, his production, but like
Hmm.
Joe, I mean, it's songs that he's covered that I'm like, okay, like a Marvin Gaye song. I'm like, damn, I just want to hear how he killed that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Fair. All fair. I ain't. Hey, you got it.
Who you like? Come on, no, like who you pick? Like,
I mean, my favorite, the way you explained it when you say overall. All right, for you, you said that you wouldn't want to hear Donnell just sing. You want to hear the whole package. I want to hear the whole package.
Right.
Joe,
I feel you.
Joe be jamming like a mug too, and those are my two. Like those, the reason why I asked the question because I can't pick between them two. But if I had to pick, I'm picking Donnell over Joe. That's just me because Donnell give me a vibe. He fits my vibe and he fits my
I feel you. He has
character.
more of a like our personality. Joe
It's
is
more
like,
broader, and I'm a spoken word poet. I play
got you.
piano. I
I got
sing.
you. I
I
see. I
do
get it. I get it. But King, I'm gonna tell you like this. Like I rock with both of them for real, for real. But you know what I'm saying? If you told me it ain't no in the middle, I gotta go left or right. So
Hey, I got you, bro. I got you. All right, all right. Next one, next one. Pick one. You're running on a bridge and you run on the bridge and you look in the water and you see your career drowning and you see your best friend drowning. Who you saving?
my best friend.
Hey.
You gotta understand. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like I love music, man. But like, you know what I'm saying? It's times where shit, you know what I'm saying, was like weird. Like, you know, even we're coronavirus right now. Like nobody knows what's gonna happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like shit has stopped, bro. Like people can't tour no more. So a lot of people that's gonna go broke. You know what I mean? It's like, so it's the career you don't have no control over anyway. Shoot, if I could save a life, you know what I mean, something that you know, you said my best friend, hell yeah, without a blink of an eye, like yo.
Okay, okay. I asked everybody the same questions, all right? Everybody the same question. So here go the follow-up. You're running on the bridge, you look in the water, you see your best friend drowning, and you see Jesus drowning. Who you say?
You about to give me hurled. Now if you say God,
Nah, bro. I said Jesus.
Jesus drowned, Jesus is walking on water, so it's like he should Jesus good. Let me go. I'm still gonna get my best friend.
All right, all right.
You know what I mean?
All right, I got you, dog. I got you, dog.
Jesus ain't gonna drown. If you know what I mean.
All right. I actually got two more questions, but it's one more. But the last question,
Okay.
all right. One is not a pick one, and the other one is. Which one you want last?
It don't matter, man.
All right. All right. All right. This ain't a pick one. Sing your favorite song ever and give us 15 seconds of it. Because I know everybody want to hear your vocals and see where you at with things. They're going to be like, oh, yeah, well, let me hear them vocally and stuff. And they heard it, you know, a few up in the interview. Give us a 10 to 15 second sample of your favorite song or from your most, or who you feel like is one of the most underrated artists in the game.
A song that
You
from
can
an
sing something that's your
underrated.
favorite, or you can sing something from somebody who you feel like is highly underrated in the game.
Damn. In the game right now?
Yeah, well, period. It don't matter if they older, younger, it doesn't matter. Someone who you always like and you say, damn, they don't get enough recognition, but you know what they song.
I mean, I would say like, what's my man name? PJ Morton. I don't think he gets enough credit for what he do.
Go ahead and give me 15 seconds.
It's like no one makes me feel the way you do inside. And I don't know what I would do without you, and that's no lie. If I die, I hope to find you in another life, so we can start again, like we were when. Wait, how's it go? Like it was when we first began. Like the first time that I ever saw you smile, I want that feeling again. It was when we first began. I don't know, like I know all the words, but
Hey man,
that's my jam.
you did your thing. You did your thing.
I think he.
All right. All right. Last question.
I'm sorry, PJ, for butchering the words, but
Nah, you good. You good. Last question. The grand finale. If you had to pick between your dick and your eyes, which one you getting rid of?
damn,
Yeah.
King, dick on my eyes.
If you had to get rid of one, well, you got to get rid of one. Ain't no, ain't no coming back.
I mean, after I have my kids and stuff, after I have my kids, like, you know what I'm saying? I want to see, like, when you get old, you want your eyes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
What about right
even
now?
when you think,
Right now, how you feel right now?
I don't even look, King. I
Right
can't
now.
look. I can't. You know what, King? Like, cause words got power, man. I'm telling you, somebody. I can't even play with that one.
Hey.
You gotta give me. You gotta give me the fifth. I answered everything like a champ. You gotta let me have.
You say you can't answer that?
I don't know. I can't answer that. I can't. That's a. I don't know how everybody else answered that, but like,
hey, everybody else answered it though, and it was 50-50. It was 50-50. It was 50-50.
Like I said, like it's that's gonna be a no brainer. Like once I'm like older and like you know what I'm saying, I got kids and stuff like this, and they can, you know what I mean, I want to see my grandkids and my great. I can't. Ain't nothing I can do with, you know what I mean. You only use your, you know what I mean, when you know what I mean it.
No, I feel you. Hey, all good, man. Hey, man. So go ahead and tell everybody your socials, what you got coming up, whatever, man. Tell everybody what you got running.
All right, cool. My socials is Corey at Corey Latif, CoreyLatif on Twitter, on Instagram. Right now I have a partner. Like we started a group about a year ago called Low Boy, LOBOII, and we got a project out called Sex Doesn't Sell Anymore. That was the first one. We got the second one done since we've been quarantined and stuff like that. That's done, but I don't know if we're gonna put it out as a project. But also, I'm writing still for everybody. Couple things coming out with that. I mean, I'll never stop writing, because I'm a writer. But and then yeah, man, a lot of stuff. And I'm looking for artists too now. I'm at that point finally where I wanna, pass some of this jewelry over and just develop artists that take the torch and really represent R&B music, and music in general the way it needs to be. So
Yeah. Hey, man, it was good having you, man. Thanks for telling your story.
Thank you for having me.
All good, man. Much love in the future, and forevermore. And also too, man, just to let you know, man, you are appreciated too, man. Just have to let you know that.
I appreciate you, King, for real, man. You know what I mean? Like, anything you need, holla at me, man.
Hey, man, all good, man. Hey, appreciate you for coming on Unspoken Truth Podcast Show. This your boy JB, aka Spoken, and we got my dog. He can say his name.
Latif, it froze up for a minute, but I appreciate y'all. God bless everybody and be safe out there. And just stay inside and deal with your life, because it's affecting this virus and stuff is affecting everybody, man. Like my loved ones, they have a couple, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy, bro. Like it's really real.
All right, man. Hey, man, y'all heard him. So stay up. This your boy JB, aka Spoken. We here, Latif. All right, we out.